Alright, so this is the Paul's Old Crap update for January 2018. I'm just going to briefly discuss what I've got planned for this month and show you the items that I've had come in so far. To get started, these are the components that I've got for my SGI Indy. This is the R4400 200 MHz CPU with 1 MB cache. I was originally planning to try and find the R5000, but it was out of my price range. Those were starting off at about $150 to $200, and I believe I paid about $30 for this one. So this is definitely going to be a good increase over the stock CPU that's in there right now, which is the 133 MHz. I've also got the 24-bit graphics board. The one that's in the Indy right now is the 8-bit, and I was looking to get whatever I could for this system, so 24-bit video card. I believe this was around $49. Both of these items I got from a gentleman by the name of Herb Johnson. His website is retrotechnology.com. The next piece I've actually mentioned in the last video, I believe. It is the compact flash card for the Apple II GS. This came from reactivemicro.com, and it's got a number of partitions on the card, I suppose you could say, and you have different options when you want to boot off different systems. The first thing I wanted to do was try the GS OS. Unfortunately, when I tried to boot that, I discovered that this system is the actual original ROM 0 Apple II. I need a ROM 1 or a ROM 3 to run GS OS. So I'm probably going to keep an eye out for a ROM 1 chip to upgrade. You can't just drop a ROM 3 in here as far as I know, because there's a number of other hardware changes. But I did see somewhere that the ROM 1 chip should be able to drop into a ROM 0 Apple II GS and give me the ability to run GS OS. I did also read that GS OS is better run on the ROM 3, so the ROM 1 you might run into bugs and stuff like that. If that's the case, I'm not going to do anything too serious with GS OS. I just want to run it. The last time I ran it was probably about 10 years ago on a system I used to have. But yeah, there's a number of other partitions on the included card, so I've got a lot of other things to play around with. The next piece is something that was actually already in one of the computers that I had. I didn't actually go and buy it. I was going through some of my Mac Color Classics to pull out the boards to do my recapping. I did notice there was an Extreme Impact 030 accelerator card in one of my Color Classics. This appears to be a 32 MHz 030 CPU upgrade card. It does have a socket here, which I believe is for the optional math coprocessor. I don't know if this is going to work, but I did see a 68882 33 MHz rated math coprocessor on eBay from China for $6. So I ordered it. When it arrives, I'll drop it in here and see if it does anything. If not, whatever, it was $6. But yeah, this is going to be going back into one of the Color Classics after I do the board recapping. And on the subject of recapping, I did go out and purchase pretty much everything I need to do my recapping. All of this I ordered from DigiKey, which is supplier of a lot of these electronic type components and stuff. Pretty decent pricing, can't complain there. Now, I'm not really good at this sort of thing. I've only done little projects in the past, and I really haven't soldered anything in the last decade. The iron I picked up did have a selection for different temperatures. I believe this was $18. You know, it's a fairly cheap iron. It was probably one of the cheapest they had. But I've soldered 5 of my boards so far, and it still works, so I can't really complain about that. Let's see. There's a number of different capacitors that I had to buy. I did buy large quantities of most of these. I did plan on recapping at least 10 of my boards for all of the various Macs that you see behind me. So I've got all of that, and I did have to try and figure out how to do this properly, which meant getting the proper desoldering stuff. I got this like little braid stuff to get the old solder off the board, but you know, I had to just kind of Google that because I have no idea how to do this properly. And then when you clear the pads off, you get like I've got this no clean liquid flux. You just dab it on there, and then it makes the solder actually stick to it. That's something that I probably had trouble in the past with, and I just gave up because I didn't know how to do this properly. But it is working out so far. Here's an example. I've got a LC475 system. You know, I'm not going for the prettiest look, so the capacitors that are in there are obviously not the same type as what was included on the original board, but I figured this is the easiest way for someone who's not very skilled in soldering, and hopefully these don't actually get in the way of cards, because I'm thinking about putting a network card into this system at some point. But, you know, it doesn't really matter to me. I'm just trying to get these computers to work again, so whatever. The only other thing I've really got going on, I'm going to take this external hard drive, 3.5-inch inside of it. I'm going to put a SCSI to SD inside this, and as I recap all of my other Macs, I'm going to use this as the hard drive to toy around with those systems. I don't really have a good supply of spinning disk anymore, so by putting the SCSI to SD in this, I can just pop out the SD card, put a different system in there whenever I want to switch between any of these old computers. So I can't think of anything else I've got planned right now. The next video I do will probably be about the SGI Indy. I'm going to do a demonstration of installing IIgs, and I'll also take one of my spare units and disassemble and show the insides. This here, as soon as I put those upgrade parts in here, I'm going to go through the system and just demonstrate whatever software I can find for it. So, until that video is done, I guess goodbye.